Welcome to the Airgun Show. This week, field target legend Nick Jenkinson is sharing some of his tips on pellet selection. But before that, I'm back in the hide and targeting crows. I'm back out at the same hide site as where we were shooting squirrels at a pheasant feeder a few weeks ago, but we're not after squirrels tonight. The feeder's actually out of action now because the keeper stopped feeding the pheasants, so there's no real draw for the squirrels anymore. Nonetheless, I still managed to account for a dozen or so, and quite a few corvids. In fact, we actually noticed quite a lot of crows moving towards the end of each of the sessions, and because the gamekeeper wants those thinned out as well, we're going to have a go at them tonight. The squirrels may not be my main quarry this time, but I have brought one with me, and I hope it'll help me to get a few crows in my sights. And to boost the appeal of the squirrel, I'm going to set up a crow decoy to help grab the attention of any passing corvids. I'm using a fairly typical bait and decoy approach this evening. Now, this is one of the unfortunate squirrels from one of the previous sessions, and being scavengers, crows will usually drop in for a closer look at a dead squirrel. Now, I've also got a crow decoy here, and that will suggest to passing crows that the coast is clear and it's safe to drop into this area of the woods. Also, being fairly territorial, it should aggravate them seeing a rival bird dropping in for a free meal on their patch, and that should make them even more aggressive and keen to swoop into the trees above to barrack this bird. So, that's our attractor taken care of. All I need to do now is get myself hidden from view. I didn't talk much about the hide last time, and to be honest, I don't want to spend too long speaking about it this evening because we really need to get out of sight. However, the most significant thing about it is the fact that it's built into existing cover, which helps to keep it inconspicuous. I have dressed it with a few weeds like dock stems and ivy just to take the edge off of it and to help it blend in. Aside from that, the only other really significant thing is the fact that it's been in position for several weeks. Now, the good thing about that is that even if the crows have clocked it, by now they're probably just accepting it as another landscape feature. Another fortunate thing with this hide site, and it is more by good luck than by judgment because we didn't actually construct this hide with crow shooting in mind, is the fact that there are several city trees within range. Now, although it's important to be able to see the bait and the decoy from the hide, just in case birds do pitch right in next to them, these are very wary crows. So it's far more likely that they're going to pitch up in the apparent safety of those high branches and scan the scene below, which gives me a great opportunity to take a shot. Now, another useful thing is, although the weather's warming up and the woods are really starting to green up now, these trees are a little bit further behind, so there's not so much foliage to get in the way of my shots, which should be nice and clear. Right, let's get inside. I'm pleased to say that previous visits have helped to open up the entrance to the hide, so getting in isn't such a rigmarole as it was at the start. Right, a quick word about my gun choice for this evening. Now, last time we were shooting from this hide, I opted for a legal limit airgun, just under 12 foot-pounds, because it was quiet and I really did want a very quiet approach. Now, that was all very well using legal limit on squirrels that were coming to a feeder. They were a static target, or relatively static, and it was over a known distance, so they weren't particularly difficult shots. Now, tonight these birds could be coming in at 45, 50 metres away, anything up to that kind of range. So I've got the FAC rated Mk4 tonight. It just gives me that extra knockdown power, so I know that every shot I get is going to count. As usual, it's on with the head net to hide those telltale flashes of skin that might just get spotted through the hide. And it's more important than ever this evening because crows are notoriously sharp-eyed. It's only a small detail, but it can make a big difference when stealth really counts. And now it's all about the most important tool in the hide shooter's armoury: patience. All I can do now is put my faith in my tactics and hope that the crows eventually arrive and react to the decoy. Right, it's been very quiet so far, but I'm not too worried yet. Generally speaking, with this kind of approach, you don't tend to get a steady trickle of action. It's usually one quick flurry when the crows spot the decoy and then bundle in, a few quick shots, and then they tend to back off when they realise that there's danger lurking beneath. In fact, I can hear a few crows croaking in the distance now, so things could well start to happen before too long. And sure enough, the crows start coming in, and I soon get a chance at one that lands comfortably within range of the Daystate. Right, we've got one in. Wow, that's one in the bag. And the others started screeching and wheeling round literally as soon as it fell, so I reckon we could get another shot pretty quickly. Rather than spooking at the sound of the shot, crows often become agitated and then inquisitive after losing one from their ranks, and, judging by the noise overhead, that certainly seems to be the case now. They're really flocking in now. Watch the crow in the top centre of this shot, or at least the branch it takes off from. There were a lot of crows up the tree then. Now the funny thing was that the bird that I was actually lining up on for the shot flew away just as I was about to push off the trigger. Fortunately, or unluckily for the jackdaw, a jackdaw landed in exactly the same perch. Now, I knew Nicky was lined up on it, so I went ahead and took the shot, bagged the jackdaw, so another corvid in the bag, and plenty more to follow, I reckon. Coming in again. This is classic crow shooting, but the thing is the opportunity can pass as quickly as it comes along, so you have to shoot quickly and decisively to make the most of it. That one was a typical heart and lung kill. Couple quick flaps and it dropped like a stone. The crows arrived suddenly and, after a few quick shots, have cleared off just as rapidly, and peace soon returns to the woods. Right, well, it's gone completely dead now, and I'm not too surprised because that's usually the way with crows. The first few losses tends to send them into a bit of a frenzy. You get a few quick shots and then the birds back off when they realise that it's too dangerous to hang around. So I really don't think they're going to be back again this evening, so I'm going to break cover and go and pick up the ones we have had. It may seem strange to bring the session to a close while the light is still good, but crows are wary birds and usually shy away for quite some time after they've had a pasting. It's quite likely that they'll now steer well clear of the squirrel and decoy setup, so I'll have to use a different attractor the next time I target this area. Now, that's not a bad tally of corvids from a hide that was initially built for squirrel shooting. Now, of course, 4 birds isn't going to make a massive difference in one go, but through my future visits and through the gamekeeper's ongoing efforts, we'll carry on chipping away at them. Another productive session from the hide there, and now it's the Airgun Show news.
This is the Airgun Show news. Brought to you by the Airgun Centre. The cost of an airgun licence has been revealed. It'll cost Scottish airgunners £72 for a 5-year certificate. You might be issued with a shorter certificate, however, to even out the flow of demand. If you've already got a firearms certificate, you can apply for a coterminous airgun licence for just £5. Licensing will be available from the 1st of July, with legislation taking effect on the 1st of January 2017. Keep up with the latest news in Airgun Shooter magazine. Night vision giant Night Sighters won the Queen's Award for Business. The business received the award in recognition of its impressive international trade record. And the smart money must surely be on them picking up even more accolades following the launch of their scope-mounted rangefinder and the awesome R-Tech night vision kit, which features one-touch recording. Ding ding ding! Round 3 of the UKA HFD National Series takes place at Buxted in East Sussex on the 26th of June, and Air Arms has been confirmed as a sponsor. The British airgun manufacturer will be putting up an S400 superlight air rifle to boost the prize pot at what looks set to be a great event. And finally, excitement is building for the UK Game Fair on the 22nd to the 24th of July at Stoneleigh. Last week, a troop of national and regional journalists descended on the showground for a track day courtesy of Explore 4x4. You'll be able to ride on the course yourself at the show as part of the UK Game Fair's Experience campaign, which also includes airgunning. Don't miss your chance to get tickets. Head to the ukgamefair.com now. That was the Airgun Show news.
I'd like to talk briefly about the importance of having consistent pellets. As air rifle shooters, we all look for the most accuracy, and that means going through different batches of pellets, different brands of pellets, and choosing one that gives us the most accuracy. Once we've chosen a pellet, there are still further things that we can do to possibly improve that accuracy. Some people like to weigh their pellets and see if they can eliminate the odd light pellet or one that's particularly heavy. Some people lubricate their pellets and they choose a lubricant that suits their rifle. Some people tend to use a sizer and they might push the pellets through a sizer, and if they find that improves the accuracy, then that's something they may choose to do. But I'd like to introduce you to a technique that I've found works for me to eliminate inconsistent shape on the pellet and to improve the performance of a pellet, particularly at longer ranges. Start with a piece of glass that's nice and clean, and I need to create a gradient, so I'm just putting one pellet underneath the end of the glass and choosing a pellet that you're happy with. Hopefully you get this result. As the pellet rolls down, you can see it moves in an arc, and that shows you that the head of the pellet is slightly smaller diameter than the skirt of the pellet. So it's a natural thing for it to roll in a curve like that. That's what they should look like. Those 3 pellets have performed well, and that would indicate to me that that batch of pellets is likely to be quite good. At that point, I think I would continue testing some, and once I was happy, I wouldn't bother doing the whole tin, but once I was happy that they seemed to all roll smoothly on the glass, I would then register that number, that this tin of pellets has got a serial number on it, and that would be a batch of pellets that I'd consider using. The advantage when pellets roll that smoothly on the glass is that the consistent shape and the balance as the pellet spins, it maintains that rotational stability for longer and gives you greater accuracy at longer range. If you get a pellet that is inconsistent in terms of its weight distribution around the perimeter of the pellet, then it loses its gyroscopic ability through the air and the accuracy won't be very good at all. I've already checked these pellets. They're straight out of the tin, but I've noticed that when they roll, they don't roll smoothly. And I'd be concerned with those pellets because I don't think I'd get very good accuracy from them. So to conclude, these pellets, obviously as they roll across the glass, they're not as smooth, and what that shows me is that the weight in the pellet is off possibly to one side. Now when that pellet's fired through the barrel and the rifling imparts the spin on that pellet, these pellets are going to lose their gyroscopic ability far sooner, and the accuracy at longer range is going to be compromised in comparison to pellets where they roll smoothly on the glass. This is a method that I've used, and it's certainly shown me batches of pellets that I wouldn't want to continue with, and so I'd put those away and stay with ones that roll smoothly on the glass. So that's a very simple test. Doesn't cost very much money to get a piece of glass, and it might give you more confidence in your ammunition if you know that they roll smoothly, and it might save you wasting time on pellets that are inconsistent in shape.
That's all for this week, but we'll be back again in a fortnight. Thanks for watching, and please don't forget to like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter. And if you aren't already a member of the BASC, have a look at their website and check out the benefits you could be taking advantage of through airgun membership.